Okay, everybody, we are here in Bamberg and we are blessed by Saraswati Devi in form of the swans here. And we're going to use this opportunity to ask Nima another question. Hello.
Hey, hi.
And the question comes from a young lady. She just found out about Vedanta, but she also wants to start a business and move to a new place. And she has a lot of things going for her. So, is there anything we can recommend her from a Vedantic point of view?
Yes, absolutely. Generally, people divide their whole life into two lives. One is spiritual life, and the other is material life. And we think that if we want to evolve spiritually, then we have to give up our material ambition. But the reality is that the Upanishads show that all that is here is one. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. The entire universe is manifestation of Ishvara. So you don't need to stay away from anything. Spiritually evolving doesn't mean that you develop disinterest for the world and you give up everything and only focus on Brahman. What it means is that generally a daily living creates a lot of suffering for us because we don't always get what we want. Our emotions become very strong or our self image goes down. So, being spiritual means that you stay where you are and you focus on all those distortions that you have in your mind, and the place where you feel as though life is hard, that that place itself you have to make it enjoyable and cheerful for you by recognizing the presence of Ishvara, seeing the beauty everywhere, seeing your responsibility in the grand scheme of things, and also managing your life and your emotions in a mature way so that you can produce a lot of well being for others and for yourself. So, pursuit of Vedanta and pursuit of truth is not opposed to success in a normal living. In fact, anything that you do can become karma yoga for you to grow as an individual, which will ultimately lead you to knowledge. So, that lady, I wish her all the very best and advise her that go for life, live life fully, but don't lose sight of moksha and karma yoga. Then you can do anything and you can be free.
Hmm. Does this imply that one has to downsize one's worldly ambitions to make it all work for oneself?
No, it's not about downsizing the ambition. It's about having the priorities right.
Hmm.
If you don't lose sight of the fact that ultimate goal of life is moksha, which is freedom centered on I, because we all live with a basic non-understanding of who we are. According to the Vedas, we are limitless awareness, and you think of yourself to be an individual, which is infinitesimally small. So, with that error, you can never be happy. So, yes, you need to focus on removing that error, but you don't need to reject life for that. You can continue to live, and every experience that you have in life, whatever business you want to do, whatever relationships you have to form, you have to use those to mature and grow as an individual, which will then actually prepare you for that reality.
Hmm.
So you can't see your life as divided. This is how we human beings divide our life, but living a life as a whole is Vedanta.
Hmm. And that can also prevent us from being living an isolated lifestyle.
Exactly,
Hmm.
because this is one of the modern day problems that the more you become interested in Vedanta, and suppose you tell yourself, I have to lose interest in the activities of the world, then you don't you reject work, you reject relationship, and ultimately, you end up being very isolated and very lonely, and then Vedanta doesn't work. Because we human beings are social and we like to connect, and in fact, how can you be compassionate? How can you be generous? How can you be kind if you're constantly isolating yourself from everyone? And these are very important growth parameters in order to become eligible for knowledge. So we are not talking about isolating ourselves from the society. We are actually talking about participating responsibly and growing as an individual, so we can first take care of our emotions and then exhibit higher emotions like generosity, compassion, caring, expressing our connection with everyone. So that's what we have to grow to be. So yes, becoming isolated from the society is not growth. Growth is staying there and becoming big and becoming a contributor.
Because if we pursue our desires, sometimes we can become more isolated because we're too focused on the goal itself.
That is true. So that means just like any other desire, right? I mean, you work and you have only one desire, which is to become successful at work and make a lot of money. That can also make you isolated and frustrated because you have lost sight of everything. So spirituality is, not becoming unidimensional in life, right? Moksha is about the whole. And what it means is that to grow as an individual, you can't lose sight of your main goal of life, which is knowing yourself. But everything, socializing is important. Certain success in the world is important. Creating warm ties is important. Everything, but it can't take precedence in your life. It can't become the main goal of your life, but it can become a very important secondary goal, which then, actually becomes beneficial for you, right?
So it helps you towards your primary goal of moksha.
Absolutely. So exactly. So it's that's why we divide life into primary goal and secondary goal. So primary goal remains moksha, and everything else, whether it is family or it is business success or it is sports or whatever is your passion, music, that becomes secondary goal. It is given a right place and through which you grow, but it doesn't become the primary goal ever. That is clarity in vision. That is discrimination.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, George.